Okay, so here's the deal, man. Thank you to Media Takeout for posting a very interesting video. Now, I can't repost it here on YouTube, but at about 3 minutes and 31 seconds into this interview that Aries Spears had at a radio station, he says something about Beyonce that's pissing a lot of people off. And, you know, I'm just going to pretty much paraphrase what he said and to give my opinion on it because, like I said, I can't post it here. It is on my blog, but I can't post it here. But actually, let me read to you the little bit that Media Takeout wrote about it. Now, they posted the following article on June 14th of 2017 titled Video. Aries Spears quote, Beyonce isn't on Michael Jackson's level. Only women and gay men are feeling her music, not straight men. Listen to his arguments. Do you agree? First of all, that's bullshit. Beyonce's made some good music. It's not only women and gay men that like her music. It's just people who like good music. What the fuck? But anyways, Media Takeout said, comedian Aries Spears just got the Bey Hive in an uproar. He claims that, quote, real men don't listen to Beyonce. Now, everybody remember, this is the same coon that went up to a radio station, was talking shit about a light-skinned dude until the light-skinned dude started throwing bowls like Ludacris. I guess he thought he was Ludacris because he was light-skinned. So he's, okay, let me stop before I get my ass whooped by Zoe Williams. That would be embarrassing. But anyways, he throws bowls like an angry Indian. All right, so let me go ahead and listen to a little bit of what this dumbass Aries Spears had to say, and then I'm gonna come back and, you know, quote what he said, not verbatim. All right, so first of all, he's basically comparing people from his generation who are celebrities, you know, people like, you know, like a Mike Tyson or a Michael Jordan or another Michael, you know, Michael Jackson, like how there were certain people who were at the top of the industry, at the top of their game, you know, whether it was in sports or singing, dancing, hip hop, rap, whatever, like whoever were the top people when he was growing up, for example, compared to who are the top people now. You know, the talent level has definitely dropped. So he definitely poses a good argument by saying that talent back then compared to talent now, like for example, we might say that the greatest singer in the world, just not that he said this, just to, you know, give my opinion, just to pose a great example. In my generation, Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey were the greatest singers in the world. They were the biggest singing acts, and maybe Celine Dion was up there too, like really big. But Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston is so-called urban music, right? And nowadays, Beyonce is the biggest thing in the world. Well, actually, it's Beyonce and Adele. I think that Adele might be crossover. They might consider her to also be urban, a little bit, because she quote unquote sings like a black woman, so-called, whatever that means. But basically, Beyonce is the biggest singer in the world, whereas 20 years or so ago, Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston were like neck and neck, for example. Now, I think I'm going to leave the approved comments option open for this particular video because I want people's opinions on topic. Because people are really retarded and they'll forget that the video is about Beyonce and singing, and then they'll come back and talk shit to me about, or try to promote somebody else's, spam my channel like, hey everybody, go check out my video of me rapping or singing or dancing or cooning and buffooning or whatever the fuck they're doing. Or hey everybody, you know who makes better videos than Me Magazine? You know, you should go over to, I don't know, the fucking Breakfast Club or something. You know, they're talking about it, and I like the way they talked about it better. Like, you know, like people will come here and try to fuck up my channel with spam comments. So I think I'm going to leave approved comments open for this video, so that way I can control the flow of comments. But basically, this is the argument that he's posing. That talent back then and talent now are two different things. They're but you gotta understand something. The way that talent is judged, there's different criteria. Back in the day, a lot of it was like, you know, whether or not the person could actually perform, whether or not they could actually do their job. Nowadays, a lot of people will say, well, so and so's making money, so, you know, so what? What's your point? Like back in the day, we could say that Diddy was a whack rapper but had a lot of money, and acknowledge both. Like, I'm not saying Diddy's a whack rapper, I'm just using him as an example. Like, that's what somebody may have said back in 1997, for example. Whereas now, if I say, for example, oh man, who's winning? Little Yachty. No, not Little Yachty. I was about to say Kodak Black. Let me think of another. There's so many of these motherfuckers that all looking, for the most part, look and sound alike. I'm trying to think. What's this motherfucker's name? There's somebody who I'm trying to name. Lil Uzi Vert, perfect prime example. If I said Lil Uzi Vert is fucking garbage and I made a video about it, people will come to my comment section and be like, "Meat, he has more money than you do." Not knowing how much money I have, not knowing anything about me, will try to judge how much money I have based off of my argument saying that the man is not good at his job. It's fucking insane, isn't it? What does that have to do? Let's say, for example, you're an office worker, you make 30 grand a year, and you hire a lawyer who makes 150 grand a year. So they make 5 times what you make. And your lawyer was really shitty, and you ended up getting sent to jail. And you turn around and say, man, Mr. Shapiro is a fucking horrible lawyer. And then somebody says, wait a second, niglet. Mr. Shapiro makes $150,000 a year. You make $30,000 a year. He makes 5 times what you make. Shut your broke ass up. You can't say that he does a shitty job because he makes more money than you. It makes no sense. But that's how a lot of people's talent is judged, by how much money they have. And, you know, there's certain people who own these different record labels, different corporations, shit like that. They could just throw all types of millions of dollars at you, and it doesn't even matter at this point. Like to the point where they're basically paying people to not have talent. You might say, well, how do the record labels recoup? Let me tell you something. Some of these people seemingly have an endless supply of money. A lot of these people come from old money. And when you get to a point, see, you guys are thinking from the standpoint of somebody who actually appreciates talent. These people don't appreciate talent. And you say, well, what are they getting out of it? They're getting control out of it. They said for years that they were going to destroy rap music. And R&B sat back. Let me tell you something. This is going to fuck a lot of people's minds. A lot of people who listen to R&B music sat back when rap was under threat. They weren't thinking like, oh, wait a second. This is all so-called urban music, as white folks called it at the time. White media said this is urban music. Beyonce, Jay-Z, same thing to a lot of those people. So therefore, when they were attacking rap, R&B, and whatever else is going to receive some of the backlash as well. So instead of black people sticking together, they just said, well, they're just attacking rap, and I don't like rap anyway. You know, I go to church, and, you know, even though I'm fucking outside of wedlock, you know, maybe even have an STD, you know, the person might have an addiction to drugs. They're like, rap music speaks about this, that, and the third, and the stuff they're complaining about is all shit that they're doing anyway. So they were like, well, fuck it, because I don't like rap anyway. Those people are vulgar, but yet they'll go watch a comedy show with lots of vulgarity, or watch a movie with lots of vulgarity, or they'll have friends who are very vulgar, or they'll be very vulgar in their personal life, but they're going to judge rap music from a moral position with moral standards that they don't uphold themselves. So those people basically said, you know what, they can do away with rap. I don't even fucking care, because I don't like rap anyway, because rap is bad. Even though R&B was basically saying the same shit that rap was, but just singing it. It's fucking crazy. But at the end of the day, these same people, they ignored the fact that rap music was under attack, and they praised R&B music for saying the same things. And then now, as you can see, when they came for rap, they came for everything so-called urban or so-called black. They wanted it all gone. And now, when you see the rappers that we see, like the little Uzi Verts and all these other people, they don't really sell many records, if at all. They might get lucky and have a hit single or two in their career, but they're not going to sell any albums. At least not enough worth mentioning. More than likely, they're not going to win any Grammys. They're not going to get any American Music Awards, etc. So you got to ask yourself, well, why do people keep putting millions of dollars behind people who are not selling albums? And the reason why is because some people made up this mythology that says, well, because it's a singles market. That's not all entirely true. The reason why these people are doing it is because they want control. They want control over people. They want control over your mind. It has nothing to do with record sales. These people have enough money to where they can literally put out these people's music for years to come and not even skip a beat. You know, so it's not really about record sales like it was back when, for example, Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey were selling millions of records, working with top producers, having high budget, high quality music videos and stuff like that. You have people whose, I mean, some of these people's music videos aren't even creative. I mean, the music is not interesting. You can't understand what they're saying. The beats sound the same. It's like sometimes, like for example, I'll hear one of these songs and I'm like, wait a second, isn't that such and such song by so and so? Come to find out, it's not. It's a completely different song, completely different artist. You know, it's like to the point where these people look alike, they sound alike, they dance alike. You have all these people doing those same stupid dances, hitting them folk, and it's like, I don't know, like maybe 3 or 4 different dances. I don't know the names of all of them, but hit them folk is one of them, which I didn't know what that corny shit was, and I had to ask like one of the kids in my family. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had no idea what the hell that was. When I kept seeing people do it, I'm like, what is this corny shit that I keep seeing over and over again? And like, to me, it gets tiring because I'm like, wow, you got all these people doing the same damn thing over and over again. And it's like, it's to me, it's draining because I sit back and I'm like, how could people walk, talk, act, dress just alike, have the same fucking hairdo, same hair color, just a bunch of drones? The shit is unbelievable. And it's like, how can you even tell them apart? It's like they're their own race. They have their own lingo, their own way of dress. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But if you actually think about it, back in the 90s, a lot of this shit was going on. People had this certain way of doing things where people were followers back then. It just wasn't quite as bad as it is now. Because at least back in, for example, the 90s, with hip hop, for example, everything was sectioned off by regions. You had the Northeast stuff, which is like which starts in New York, spreads out to New Jersey, and then the other neighboring states. And then we had the Midwest thing, you know, they had their own thing going. Then we had the South, they had their own thing going, their own way of doing things, and the West Coast had their own way of doing things. It was sectioned off. So depending on which flavor you liked, you could like pick or choose. Well, I like that Midwest shit. Nah, I like that South stuff. No. I like that West Coast. No. That East Coast is the best. And then you could just pick your flavor and leave it at that. But now it's like everything is just a mixture of just bullshit. It really is. It's just really crazy. It's like everybody came together to just be ignorant. Ignorant and just become one ignorant force of mumble. I mean, like, look at the vocabulary. You could take a song, let's say, for example, I'm not saying this is an exact amount. Let's say, for example, whereas back in the day, a song may have had like 500 different words in the song, just for example. And then you listen to one of these songs nowadays, it might have like 200 words, 200 different words. And you're like, now how the hell can you rap a song or sing a song with this few words? Like, I mean, because they're not really making songs, they're making jingles. They're making extended jingles. But anyway, yeah, in the interview, Aries was saying something to the effect of that when you went to like a Michael Jackson concert back in the day, like he could have like people there that you maybe would not expect to be there, like grown men who were like thugs holding hands with each other, like singing "You Are Not Alone." Whereas like a Beyonce concert, it's just not that type of environment. It's like Michael Jackson's music was like universally loved and appreciated. You know, it was just accepted by so many people, whereas Beyonce, her love and acceptance is more or less marginable, which I get what he's saying, but I don't understand why he's saying that. Why did he pick Beyonce as an example? Maybe because she's the biggest artist in the world. And I mean, I think Beyonce is amazingly talented, but then again, she is perfect. She is absolutely astonishingly beautiful and bootiful. And, you know, shout out to Jay-Z because he's the real MVP. But I got to ask you guys, do you think that Aries Spears is going to get himself Illuminati 666 satanically sacrificed for saying this mess? Or you think he's safe? Yeah. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine, Meat Magazine 7 on Google+, Meat Magazine blog and Instagram. Be sure to hit that notification button. It's right next to the subscribe button. It looks like a bell. Once you click that button, you'll be sent alerts to be notified when new videos get posted. Jesus.